Welcome everybody, I'm going to stand up here. Welcome to our second annual Subcontractor Toolbox meeting. It is so amazing to have all of you here. Thank you so much for making the effort to spend some time with us this morning, and you know, it's great to get together, to meet each other face to face. I haven't met Adrian before. There's some of you, Shoaib, I haven't met you before. It's nice to sort of have that opportunity to interact and spend some time together, because we do work very closely together as companies, and we consider you, all of you, as our internal customers. So you are as important to us as the customers that we have in Cleancorp. Because without you, we are very much aware of the fact that without you and your teams and your management of your teams, we wouldn't have a business. We wouldn't be able to get out to the coalface every night and have our clients' offices clean. So first of all, thank you. Thank you very much for being here. Now, I'd like to, just a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. The bathrooms, they are downstairs. So downstairs and directly on your right, if you need those. And has everybody signed in? That's one of the, yep, everyone's signed in. So you will have noticed that we're videoing this event, and the reason for that is because we have subcontractors right around Australia and New Zealand, and they couldn't be here, clearly. So we'd like to share this information with them as well, so that they hear what you hear. We thought it might be a good idea to video. So thank you for signing the form and allowing us to use that video and share that online. We also have the very lovely Eden Connell in the back corner. Eden is our photographer, and Eden's been taking group photos this morning, and we would love to have a photo of each of you as well, so that, you know, like I said, you're part of the team, our internal customers. So please don't leave before Eden has taken your photo. All right, now, without further ado, let me introduce you to the Cleancorp team. And I'm going to start with Hamish at the end. Do you want to stand up? My husband Hamish. I know you all know Hamish, the founder of Cleancorp. And yep, it was his dream that started all of this. And do you want to say something?
I did want to say something a little bit later. Okay, I did want to talk about a few things, and that is your businesses and what you think is the most important thing about your business, and get your ideas on what you. So I'd like to talk about that later. Yeah, but I do appreciate you guys being here today. It does mean a lot to us, and we're going to walk away with some takeaways where we should be better for it for being here today. So that'd be great, because we are, as Lisa said, we're a team. We all work together, and our boss, if you like, is our customer. So we're all answerable to one person. So we're all on the same team. So.
Okay, thank you. And I'd like to introduce you to Fashad Koshkaram at the end. Fashad is our CEO and responsible for the strategic direction of Cleancorp, and he's been with us since February and is doing an amazing job and helping us grow the business and move the business forward in many, many different ways. Who's next? We have Gillian Gallagher down the end. Gillian is our finance manager, and Gillian's just joined the team, and you will all, from time to time, be dealing with Jill, certainly with invoices, and she will have a lot more to say about invoicing and the processes and what have you a little bit later on. Next to Jill is Nick Flanagan, and Nick's our business development manager. Nick is responsible for bringing in new accounts into Cleancorp. So welcome to Nick. And then who we got? Michelle Cudmore, very important. Michelle Cudmore, our office manager. Michelle is responsible for systems and processes within Cleancorp, making sure that we have, that we follow our system and that we deliver like quality outcomes for our clients every day. So I know many of you have been dealing with Michelle.
Everybody knows that if they haven't filled in the form,
they're going to hear from Michelle. Let me introduce you to Hella Mejri. Hella is our customer service manager and she also does business development. Hella's just recently joined the team. We're very, very happy to have her with us as well. And then right down there is Richard Jurisic, who I know you all know. Richard is our National Operations Manager and he does an amazing job managing sites and looking after you guys and communicating with you. So Richard will be speaking a little bit later on all things operational.
Welcome to this session. When I joined Cleancorp, the idea that we had was to increase the business. We wanted to double the business. Imagine if we have a business that was double of what it is today. What would that for you? What's in it for you? It's just increase in your income. We wanted to do it as organically as possible without providing any issues that may arise that will create issues for you guys. We try to do it as slowly and as caringly as possible. But we are on our way to actually double our business within a year. We're hoping that you are with us. We're hoping that you continue to be with us and do whatever you can to increase the volume that we have, because whatever we do will benefit you and your family. There are a lot of things that we are changing, bits and pieces that needed to be changed to make sure that we have the ability to actually grow. And we really need your help and assistance in every way. Anything that you can provide to us as far as assistance is concerned, we will provide it back to you in double. So please bear with us until we go through these little bit of changes that we do. Some of them might not be what you expect, but trust us, we've done this before. We can increase our business, we can double the business, and that will benefit you after all. Welcome again. Hope you enjoyed this session and have a great time. I'm sure we will be dealing with each other more and more. I will be talking to each one of you at one time or another during the day. And if I could be of any assistance or help, please let me know. All right?
Yeah, no, appreciate it, Lee. That's great. Look, welcome all. It's great to see some faces from last time and obviously some new faces. It's awesome to see you guys back again. Like Fashad said, we're on a massive growth spurt for the business. We're looking to increase dramatically. And within that, I know all your strengths in the business. So it's quite easy for me to, once we land a job, that we can identify who's the strongest in that area and who will be the best fit for that client. And by me knowing your businesses, that really helps me to be able to put the right people in the right job and know we can satisfy the client and continue working on together. So look, again, appreciate everyone coming. And we'll go to the next one. With our message board, we know we talked about, the last one we talked about swept. And I hope Michelle would agree there's been an improvement with the usage of swept. And I appreciate everyone doing that. I'd just like to talk about the message board and some of the benefits for you guys. I know we've spoken about it 101 and we've also done it collectively last time. But especially some of the harder customers, to be able to get in contact with you guys through swept straight away and say, listen, this needs to be done, it's urgent, and then it just satisfies the client's needs, it's perfect for us. And you guys can then in turn respond back to us with a photo or it's done or any questions at any hour of the day to make sure that that customer's needs are met. A lot of people were a bit balky about the check-in, check-out situation. And like we discussed at the last event, it's not necessarily Big Brother. It's also a safety tool for us. Like your safety is very important to us. And if we can see that, okay, Joe hasn't checked out of the site. Geez, is Joe okay? and then we can straight away, see if, ring up, say, make sure everything's okay with Joe. It's really not a big brother tool, but in saying that, a lot of the customers now, that's something that they're all looking for. Every big business is looking for something to be able to track, monitor, and also communicate with us to satisfy their clients. With all the ISOs now and the accreditations, every business needs to be able to tick their box to make sure that they've got contractors that have all of these things in place. So I appreciate everyone working hard on it, and I know sometimes it was a bit hard to get going, but that's more the reason behind it as well. It's a tool that we need as a business to be able to get some of the larger jobs that we're all after. So that's that. So I know we'll talk about supplies. The supplies tab within Swept. It's been a bit bumpy, sometimes a little bit bumpier for others, and I certainly we're open to questions for that, but we are looking to try and streamline the supplies by a monthly order. And so a monthly order for some sites is easier than others, as we've found out, but certainly open for questions. Michelle might be able to help with those questions. And it's easier for the customers. The customers are sort of requesting, why is Abco coming, every 2 weeks? So that's a lot of our larger customers have requested a monthly order. And again, if there's any way we can help you with that, streamline that, we're certainly open to suggestions, because I know your guys are the guys that then collect it, or they hear from the staff that you're dealing with that this isn't working for us, or we've got too much to put away, or anything like that. So certainly open for feedback on that, so we can try to improve that process. Like I said before, we are on a big growth spurt. And for any of you who might be doing a business down the road and you see a change in the business next door, or you see another floor on a building that you do with a new customer, if you want to continue trying to expand your businesses and also work in this building or work next door to a new, this is where Hella and Nick come into. If you see an opportunity that you guys think, oh, I'm not quite ready to take that plunge, but need the backing of us, don't feel shy. Just contact these guys, or even myself, and just say, look, I've seen this opportunity. Do you reckon you guys can have a chat to them, or just see if we can approach it together? And like Lisa said, and Fashad, we're all in it together, and we're happy to try to help everyone out by expanding everyone's businesses. So what we do collectively as the operations team with Hella and Hamish and myself, we monitor the jobs. And like I said before, some of the companies specify that we need to do certain inspections per week, per month, whatever it may be. But we're also after the help of you guys. So, for a job that's a larger job, 5 to 7 times per week, a lot of you do visit your jobs weekly, and I thank you for that. And a lot of you guys are very proactive. And when I call up or come through, I'll say, oh, Michael was here last week. Oh, Adrian just got off the phone to me. Mahar was here. So that's great, that you guys take ownership in those jobs. And it certainly helps us because, we're only a small team as well, and trying to get it around to all of them is onerous. And it just shows me that you guys really protect what you have and want to, keep the business. And that also shows us that, it is a good job for you that you take ownership of it. So I really appreciate that. The 3 to 4 days a week, we're looking at a fortnight inspection. And that's, I know Yum's all over that with his McGrath sites. And that's why, we have no communication from those guys. Whenever I go into a McGrath site that Yum's on, or with CH guys are on, there's, oh yeah, these guys are in, there's no problems. And that's the way we've had an era in the business where we've had longevity with jobs. We've held on to jobs so much longer because collectively everyone is looking after their jobs and making sure there's no issues going forward. So that's well done for everyone. And also once a week job, inspect monthly. Now that monthly jobs are, as we all know, weekly jobs are the easiest to hold on to. Everyone knows that it happens organically, and you keep the customer happy. It's doing the same thing each time, and off it goes. So, look, congratulations to all of you. Done fantastic work. collectively as a business, we've really improved. And I think, you know, to be able to sustain jobs longer, which we have, has just been fantastic. So I'd just like to open while we've got these two slides on. Is there any questions on the supplies at all? Or on the swept? Ordering materials? No?
So it just helps if you can put the order through on the first week of the month, and then on the second week of the month, I place all the orders, and they're usually delivered, you know, it takes 24 to 48 hours for the delivery of the goods, and so the customer, we know every month when they're getting them. We've been doing some reporting to see annual usage on sites and to maybe try to set up recurring orders for some of the sites, which we're going to be looking into over the next couple of months, just to maybe streamline the ordering on some sites so that, you know, don't have to put the effort in. But at this point, it's really up to you to just have a look at what stock is on site and understand how much the usage is, and be just placing the order on the first week of the month, and then we get the shipment out to the customer straight after that.
That's a good point you make. Just because you're at a site and you think, oh, I could only order monthly, but if something's looking critical, we can't let the customer down. So please just make the phone call, put the message on the supplier's order, and we'll make sure it happens. There might have been something abnormal that week that caused the customer to run out or use high usage, but you know, the priority is to make sure the customer does not run out.
And also communicating to your cleaners to have in their mind what is their minimum stock level that they expect for that site. What is the threshold that it can't get below? You know, we don't want to have to be rushing the order through and getting the delivery quickly if they've run out, because, you know, there wasn't anything in stock.
Do you guys see that it's actually helpful to you guys to have this system in place?
Yes.
Do you find it useful?
Yeah, it is useful, but what I found is like we can't put two item in there sometimes, so you have to ring like the office and tell them that we don't need this item, but it doesn't allow to put a supplier
A zero.
request. Yeah, zero.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's an issue that we have identified, that if you don't need something, you don't put zero in. You just don't order that line item. You don't put
In the claim
the
set.
amount.
But it doesn't allow to put a request in there, so you have to put at least one item there.
If you just don't put that there's no stock required. So the box on the left, you don't fill that in. But if you need one box of something, you put one box. But if you need none of that, you don't put anything in that row at all. Just leave that row going.
Do you find you're unable to do that, yet you have to put a number in to continue?
At least you have to put one item at least to put continue.
So you have to put a zero in even to continue?
You can't put zero.
You have to be number, apparently, what
That's
you're
the
saying.
number.
It has to be from
You have
one
to put
up.
at least one number to do a continue.
Oh, we will check that to make sure that that is.
Yeah.
No,
right.
that's
I let
great
masses,
feedback.
I let masses as well.
Yeah, I have looked into it, and that was what I came up with. But I'll look further and have another check of it, because I know that Michael's also brought up a similar
Yeah, we had
problem.
a similar
that-
issue.
Yeah.
I was going to ask was if so with the ordering to order on the first week to get the delivery on the second week, is it possible to send out like a reminder message at the end of every month, maybe to all the cleaners?
Well, I
So-
did put it on Sweat saying
That's right.
your orders are due to be placed next week.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so
Because
that
you
they
know,
should
like
get it in that.
it just gets hard from our end to monitor
Whether they've done
with
it
all
or
the
not.
cleaners, and not only that, sometimes some cleaners are unsure what to order, so I don't want them to also be ordering ridiculous amount of stock
Yeah.
or stock they don't need, and then they run out of stock that they do need, because it always
Yeah.
falls back on.
And another thing is that if you only need a box of toilet paper and hand towel for a site, it's not really, it pushes it into that the order quantity doesn't go over the amount where we have to pay freight. So it almost makes the order not worthwhile, because we don't charge the customer freight. So it's almost better for a site like that if we can place an order every 2 months and place the order double. So just bear in mind when you're placing small orders that you know, they sort of need to be at the vicinity of 2 boxes of hand towels and 2 boxes of toilet paper and maybe a soap and some toilet and some garbage bags to make it worthwhile paying, like we get free freight over a certain amount. So, yeah, if you do have sites where they just need a very small amount once a month, we might look to quarterly ordering or something like that. So, but please ring us, and happy to talk to you about each individual site if there's some queries.
So two offices in one building. Would you still get charged freight if you were ordering small for those 2 offices?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what we really want is to be able to do job reporting so that we can see for a job what the consumables reporting, consumables ordered were for that job. So if you're bundling the consumables together for 2 jobs in the one building, we can't split the consumables out to see for that job. Because if we lost one of the jobs in that building, that's where it becomes a problem. Because, you know, we've sort of been always bundling it in with the other guy, and then we lose that job and we don't actually, it's not worthwhile to have the other job that's in that building. So we just would prefer them to be separately ordered for rather than combined. Yeah.
Hello everyone, and nice meeting you all. We would like to make sure that every cleaner is working safe on sites and that we're following the safety, work health and safety rules. So the purpose is, of my discussion is we want everyone to have all the equipment tested and tagged on the site, and make sure that we have those discussions with the cleaner to make sure they're not dribbling over the cords, they're not having cords that are dented or unsafe on sites. We would like also to be working with our cleaners to make sure they're using the color, the color coding, especially if we're working around our client, because we will have clients talking back to us and sending messages and saying, oh, we have a cleaner using the red cloth on the kitchen bench or on our desk, which they think it's it's not good. So we would love to be following those rules. I know that sometimes it's hard, sometimes those things are costly, but especially if we're working on a daytime job, if we're working around our client, we would like to be compliant with all work health and safety procedures. So, and if there is any safety concern, we would like you to come back to us and report it as soon as possible, if we can, even immediately. We know that you are subcontractors and you have your own insurances and everything, but this is something that we need to know about, and we need to make our reports that we know that there is a hazard that happened on that site. And as we're going around, me, Hamish and Richard, if we identify any hazard, we would be reporting that back to you guys, and we would like that hazard to be removed immediately if we can. So, if we're working around the client, we would like to have the signs as well, about, floor weights and all of these signs that need to be around. So and we have a list of approved chemical that the SDSs are uploaded on SWEPT, and we did put a copy in the pack that you will take away. So we would love that you use those chemical. We know that you have your own chemical. If you are using your own chemical, it's good that you send us a copy of the SDS so we know what chemical you're using on which site.
There was one more. This one.
Okay, so we have our swims, and we have this risk assessment that is also on SWEPT. We would like and invite everyone to have a look at that to identify the hazard and how to eliminate it. So this is all on SWEPT for everyone to have a look at it.
Can I just ask everyone a question? Sorry, I'll just jump in here. How do you guys identify risks on site? Do you use the forms that we send you, or do you have your own forms?
We've got our own forms.
You've got your own forms?
Own forms.
Own forms? You've got yours? Okay, everybody else? Because the forms that we use are we're an ISO accredited company, So we know, and we're audited every year, as many of you will know, around that first, what is it, February, March, we're all pulling our hair out while we're going through an audit. But what I'd like to, if you don't have your own forms, I'm very happy to share ours with you.
The question is, can I just interject? Why wouldn't you use our forms? Because we are ISO. So why wouldn't you use our forms? I mean, is there any reason that you wouldn't use it and use your own?
Look, a lot of these companies work for a lot of different companies as well. So, you know, if they've got their own branded stuff that they keep on site for other businesses as well.
Right. So, what I'm trying to ascertain here is what are the differences between your forms and our forms?
Very similar.
Because we need to know if we're missing something so we can add it. Because we want to work with you guys. You're our partners. In reality, that's what we are. We need to know what is it that we're missing that you need, and what is it that you guys missing that we need to add. So we need to work together in regard to this to find out what are those pinpoints. What are the points that you say, you know what, I'm not going to use their forms because they're missing certain information that I just don't need. Or they have too much information they're asking us and we just don't have time to do it. We really need to have that dialogue open to find out what it is that we can't provide you.
Yeah, but from a contractor and subcontractor point of view, if you get audited for payroll tax, you should be using, subcontractor should be using his own forms. If payroll tax come and audit you and you see subcontractor using his own forms, they can specify him and for you.
We could just supply you with like a template.
Correct, the templates, the information we're looking for, not necessarily the form itself, the information in the form that we're looking for.
For me, it's
That
just,
would do, but I just wanted to let you know.
That's
great,
actually
thank
a really
you.
good. It's
Yeah,
actually
good
a really good point.
for me, it's just a time management thing, just simple. Once we have our forms there ready to go in a book, or some jobs have books, or
Right.
it's just doing it quick and easy.
Yeah.
And having something on file and just move on.
Right.
I guess if your forms were available, like I don't know where, I'm sure they are, it was probably very similar.
Have you seen
But,
any of our forms as yet? Has any of you seen any of our
So
forms?
it's on Swear, it's just an inspection that you can do.
But it would be a good point though, if
Yeah,
we were
we
to
show-
print out
we show
the
it.
Cleancorp with the heading Cleancorp on top, and we'll fill that out and we file that and we get audited, then that could come back to you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe having a generic form available if needed.
Yeah.
But what Fasha was saying is that there are any little bits of gold nuggets in the other ones, which are really relevant points.
Thing is, they're all very similar.
Ultimately used on ours as well, I mean, and vice versa. Like you have a look at our form and go, that's a really good relevant point, maybe we can slip that in on our form. I think that's where it's.
Okay.
Would this
I'll
be,
leave
would this
it
be
there.
classed as your
Yeah.
intellectual property?
It wouldn't be actually classed as an intellectual property because these are available on the internet, on the web. What we have done though, we have made sure that all the things that are relevant to our business is included.
Yeah.
So it protects us and it will protect you guys if you use it. There are certain, as time goes by, things just drops off. People add things and they forget they have added things or they have taken it off. And all of a sudden the form that it used to be really, really good is not really, really good anymore. It just leaves you guys open.
It changes every year.
Correct. And it leaves you open for, litigation. All we're doing is, because we are ISO, we need to do all the things right. And we need to get everything audited. So information that we provide to you is not only protect us, it will protect you as well. So we really encourage you to use it and share with us the things that you don't use, so we could actually adjust things accordingly. That's all. Yeah.
Thanks, Helen. So, can we call
Yes. So we would like you to use SWEPT for check-in and check-out. as Richard said, it's not for Big Brother, but it's just more for a safety. We just need, if you're working alone, just checking in and checking out, gives us an overview that you are safe, you worked and you left the site. You have to check in the time that you get there, the time that you leave. It's not, again, to see how long you spent on the site. If you spend the whole time, we know that sometimes a job of 1 hour you can finish some days in 45 minutes, some days you would spend 1.5 hours to fix few other things. But it's for the safety. We need, the principal contractor or you guys need to make sure that you're communicating with your cleaner to make sure that they're safe when they're working along. You can have, check on them on the phone, verify through SWEP, because you have the visibility through SWEP that they check in and check out. So these are the things that we need to make sure that we all working together to make sure everyone is safe, everyone doing the right thing, and we all complying. Yeah, so the other thing, we would like to make sure that again, we are complying with all the work health and safety procedure, with the immigration, with the visa. So when you have people employed around your sites, you need to make sure that they have the proper visa, they have the work rights to work on sites, because you can be, and we can be audited at any time to make sure that and we can be in big trouble if we're not complying with those things. Just a last point, if we're doing a work a job on a daytime, we would love that our cleaners wear the Cleancorp branded shirts and be on a proper work attire when around clients. Because I've been around some sites and I've seen cleaners wearing casual shorts and t-shirts. This is not appropriate. Wearing the Cleancorp shirt is the brand. It's a promotion for Cleancorp itself. Just people going around, see you with a Cleancorp shirt doing a good job, they can give us a call for another job. So I would like to invite everyone. I think did we bring? Yeah, so we brought shirts here. So if you need any shirts for any size, you can pick them up, and we would like people to be wearing the Cleancorp shirt when they're working around.
Sorry, I just need one other thing to discuss. I don't think we actually touched on that yet, is the induction of your cleaners. It is really, really important for all the cleaners who attend our sites to be inducted to the site. We have a form that we have provided to you guys. We need to have that form fully completed. And we will file it, because if anything goes wrong, if anything happens, God forbid, to any of our cleaners, if they're not inducted into the site, the people who will be responsible will be you guys. Because we are letting you know that we are giving you all the tools to induct your cleaners into the site. So it's really, really important that every person who moves into a site or changes the site from one of the cleaners, change to another site, that they have that induction form fully completed. And we require that within the first week or so, as soon as the cleaner is actually on site. It's really up to you guys to monitor that. We will chase you, but it is a requirement of our company to have everyone who works in any site to be inducted properly and have the form signed.
You've all seen the form?
It's in the pack.
Well, okay, great. I mean, ultimately, we don't want to have to chase you, because this is more work for us. So just help us out with that one. And new job, new cleaner, and please, it's one form.
Really, if after a few weeks we don't have that form, that person who's providing that service will not be able to provide that service anymore, because the risk is just too high. Just too high. Legally, the risk is too high. So please, the minute that you have someone on site, please induct them. Get that form filled and send it to us in whichever way you can. You want to take a picture with your phone and send it to us, it's fine for us, as long as we have the evidence that has been inducted. Great, thank you guys.
Okay, well, we've already talked a lot about SWEP. They kind of stole my thunder. Everybody's talked about everything that I wanted to talk about, but look, while we're here, we may as well go through a couple of things that, and like, I'd like this to be as interactive as possible. So throw some questions at me. If there's things that you've been, you're not sure about or anything, like, now's the time to ask. And also, while I think of it too, if any of your teams are unsure how to use Swept, I'm more than happy to, to like, record something and send it over to you so that you've got like a full tutorial that they can use. And as you bring on new cleaners, you can just give them a link and they can go and use that tutorial. It's just so important, and we've already talked about that a lot. Now, I'd like to thank Allah for allowing me to use his phone, but now there we go. Okay, we're in business. So this is the view that I have as one of the admins, and I just wanted to share with you a little bit of the ideas behind how we use Swept. Because yes, it's got a very practical application. Okay, the practical application is that your team can communicate. Like, I'm literally at night, I'm sitting there, I've got this thing in my hand. Well, I haven't got your phone in my hand, but I've got the phone in my hand because I'm monitoring messages, because quite often there are messages, and I know that I quite often speak with you, don't I, when you're on site, and Yum as well. So it's important for you guys to know that if you need an answer fast, for the most part, definitely me, but a lot of the team are also monitoring it, so you can get really fast action from us and information. So the areas that are, I guess, for me, that are the most important are the messages that come in from the clients, because that means if they're using the app, we are all so excited when they use the app, because it means that we can show them, we can showcase how responsive we are. And that's one of the things that we say within within Cleancorp, that we are super responsive. We want our clients to feel like we're on it. They don't have to wait for us to get back to them. So they send a message in, and let's just see who. Gosh, should we take a risk and see who this message is from? Should we? I don't know who. I don't know what this message says or who it's from. So I'm hoping it's good. Jeez, it's going to be really embarrassing if it's not. Okay, so this is from. I won't go into the message. I'm just going to show you that this is one of our big clients. It's one of Adrian's clients. And she's great. She's been communicating with us through Swept, which means that all of us can keep on top of what's going on. Hella can keep on top of what's going on, and so can Adrian and his team. I won't go back to her just right now.
You can go to Sharon if you like.
Can I go to Sharon?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Okay, you asked for it.
You can see that, like, all of us in the management team
Okay,
have the access.
so these are the messages that we're getting from a client, and it's just it's just a constant thread. Now, what I love about having a constant thread is that I don't have to go searching for an email to find a message that I remember she said such and such 6 months ago. I don't have to worry about that, because everything is recorded on the one thread. So that is a huge time saver for us. And also, if we need to at any time to say to the client, oh, listen, but don't remember we spoke about X, Y, and Z, and oh no, I don't remember saying that. Oh, well, hang on, let me just show you where you did say that, and we can prove it. Because perception is reality, guys. That is reality. So if a client thinks for whatever reason we didn't do what they wanted us to do or whatever, then they think that until we prove otherwise. And that's why this tool is so incredibly wonderful and handy. Sorry? So I'll just go back to the main screen. And then we have, so they're the messages from the clients. Then we've got the location messages. And this is where you guys, the communication from you is coming through. So there's no messages from anyone at the moment. So what I might do, I'm just going to pull one up. Just want to show you. No, I'm just going to show, sorry, bear with me. Oh, damn it. I've got performance anxiety. There you go. Is it not going to, do I need a space? Oh, there we go. Okay, let me bring up this one. This is a client that we've just started. This is one of Jan's clients. And so you'll see that when we set a client up, when we get a new customer on board, the very first thing that we're going to do after they've signed their contract with us and we've sent out the subcontractor agreement to you guys, the very next thing, and it's normally my job, is to get them set up here on Swept so that we have their information. We have, you know, the inspections that the guys do when they go on site. We've got the instructions in terms of, okay, what's the specification? What has to happen? So we are, and I'll just show you this one, for example. So the inspection, so when Richard or Hella or Hamish go out, they record that they've attended site. That's not a date, by the way, that 0818, it's just a code. The JSEA, the Job Safety Environmental Analysis, this is how we do it. And the quality check, so when our team are going out there looking at sites, they're recording a quality visit, and that gets recorded inside inside of Swept for us, so that we're keeping track, we're active rather than being reactive to our clients. And it's something that sometimes we might be a little bit, you know, might be a bit annoying for you guys if we're going, oh, we need you to do this, oh, we need you to do that. But the reason we do that is because the longer we keep the job, the longer you keep the job. And it's so much cheaper to keep an existing customer than to go out and find a new one. So we're very, very, you know, very, very aware of that.
Do you think this is actually helpful to you guys? Having this tool, is it helpful?
It is very good and it's easy to communicate
With your customers?
Office and customer. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Is there any reluctant not to use it? Is there any reason that you wouldn't want to use it?
No. So the one thing I just wanted to say.
Sorry?
Sometimes forget.
Forget.
Yeah.
Oh, forget.
The one thing I just wanted to say about the inspections, could you click on inspection?
Yeah.
Is that the quality check there, you can use that too. So if you're going to the sites once a month or once a week, if it was a 5-day-a-weeker, you can do one of those each week as well and do the quality check. And then we know that you've been there. So it's just a way of recording that you've done your bit of checking the sites. And we can look back and go, oh yeah, Michael was there every week checking on that site. And then when Richard goes in to look at the site, he can see when you were there last rather than just asking the customer and feeling like, you know, we're empowered to know that we know what our team's doing when we can see when your check-ins are as well. Yeah. So it's only a 2 or 3 button. You know, you just click start and then you just say, I was here, and then any comments.
The client cannot see the check?
No.
Can the client go into the check?
No. The client has a message board, which is a separate message board to the cleaner message board. They can't see any of your messages, you can't see any of theirs, and they can't see your check-ins. It's all
if you have a difficult site with a difficult client, there'll be 1,000 times messages a day.
That's right. Yeah. Because then we can be proactive to fix the problems and reduce the problems.
Yeah. One thing I will say on that, I from time to time we have had, you know, the odd challenging client, and with those challenging clients, what we ask is that, okay, let's say for example, they're constantly complaining that the kitchen's not properly cleaned, okay? So what we do is we ask you guys to just photograph the kitchen when you're finished and upload a photo to Swept. And I can't tell you how many times I've said to, and there's one client who is like ringing a bell in my head right now, and she's just around the corner from here. She is super punishing. But now, because the cleaner takes a photograph of those problem areas, that every time a new problem arises, the cleaner says, right, I'm going to take a photograph of that. He uploads it for me. So when this person rings, I go, oh yes, I'm looking at the photos from your clean last night. Can you just explain to me where the problem is? As soon as that started to happen, guess what? She stopped calling. So it's like, being in front of the issue rather than being behind it, because we don't have the same. We can't see what you guys see because you're out on the, your teams are out on the out at night. But this gives us like X-ray vision into what's going on, and it shuts it down. And that's what we want to do for you. I do not want to waste your days with needless complaints if I can handle them before I put them in front of you. And that really has been a huge objective in in what we've been doing. So little by little, I mean, Fashad sort of mentioned it at the beginning, but we are trying to cut out as much unnecessary communication as we can and really simplify. And that process of simplifying it, look, it does take time, and we're certainly not there yet. But with your help and feedback and meetings like this, getting real feedback, we're able to just do it more and more. Because I honestly want you all to just go. Cleancorp are the best company to work for. They pay me on time. They don't waste my time with unnecessary crap. When they call, I know it must be for something really important, and that serves all of us really well. Okay. Sorry, Fasha, did you want to say something?
I'm saying you create expectation. You eliminate all that wrong expectation from your customers when you go through this.
Yeah.
I mean, example of it, as you said about the kitchen. Your cleaner probably does clean the kitchen. They walk away and somebody walks in straight after them and they made a mess. 2 minutes later, the lady who's in charge comes around and says the kitchen is a mess. But in reality, we all know that that's not the case. By doing that, we eliminate that issue. You do that twice, there won't be a third time. Because they know that we're on the ball.
We're watching.
Rather than relying on he said, she said, I did it, I really did it, I swear I did it. They're not going to believe you, but you give them a couple of evidence like that, they're just going to say, you know what, they know what they're doing, I'm never going to do that again. It's just not going to feel stupid about it.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
On another note, we are actually getting a lot of business on the fact that we say we're going to use Swept on your site, and they say, what's that? And they go, wow, we want to try this out. So we get business on the back of using Swept, and customer wants to use it, and it is an amazing. I mean, when it first came out, I was using another platform. I was going, oh no, not more. This will slow us down. But it's been. I can't tell you what an incredible tool it is for hanging on the customers, because they're so close to you all the time, and we go straight back, and it's great communication. It really is an amazing platform. So I think we just have to embrace it, and the more you embrace it, the more you go, wow, it is an amazing tool. It really is.
And I'll just show you too. Gone to the wrong one. Hang on. The instructions as well. So if your cleaner doesn't know or isn't sure what they have to do, they can just grab that information straight away. They don't need to call you and say, oh, Maha, do I have to mop the floors tonight? Like, it's all here. They get all of that there. So we set it up so that it's ready to rock and roll. Now, messages. This is so as Michelle said, there is no crossing of messages between a client and between you or your team. It's all completely separate. But these are some messages that we've just set up this client last Friday. So I sent this message to Yam just to welcome him to the job and reminding him to look at the specification. Just some housekeeping things. I know he's going to do it anyway, but I'm just going to remind you because I'm OCD about that sort of stuff. But we can put in, messages and things like that, and then he's communicating backwards and forwards with me. And at no time, you can see that, at no time, it's just me and it's Yum. There's no clients or anything like that in there. So it's super handy. And supplies you've already talked about. Security is where we put their, codes and things like that. But are there any questions about what I've shown you so far? No?
It's it should be interactive, this session. You need to ask the questions. If you have any doubts, please ask. Yeah. It's not just us standing there presenting. Yeah. It's your session. It really is your session.
I have a question. Yeah. So I've only been here 2 weeks. Is it compulsory that, does everyone use Swept, all the cleaners, subcontractors, they have to use it? Yes. So everyone here would be...
Everybody here, like you've all got Swept on your phones, right? Everybody's got it on their phones, yes. So, yeah, it is.
The little jobs.
Even the little jobs. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Initially we thought, well, we'll just manage the big jobs through Swept. But because we were getting such good results with that, we thought, well, why not just manage all of them? Like, it's better to have one system for everything than a multitude of systems for, you know, for the jobs. And because we've been getting such great results, both internally and externally with the clients, it's actually just become another one of the systems that we use to help us run the business. And it's because of, you know, us having these processes in place that means we can be fast on our feet. So we can operate, you know, we can mobilise a contract fast. As many of you know, you'll get a phone call and say, we're starting that job tomorrow. But we can do that because we have, you know, we've got processes in place and systems in place to support that. So it's, you know, this is something that we're very, very committed to. One thing I would say, if any of your, as you bring on new team members, please remember that they need to have a Swept login, which I can set up in minutes, literally minutes. I just need an email address and a mobile number and boom, it's done. And then we just attach that cleaner to a particular site and, you know, you guys as managers can see who's doing what, who's where, and that's exclusive to you. So nobody else can see Michael's jobs, only Michael can see it. Mahar's jobs, only Mahar can see it. So there's no cross-contamination anywhere. There's no need for anybody to fear that, you know, your information's out there in the public domain. It's not. So, yeah.
I just want to ask one question.
Sure.
Like for example, one day like 5 guys working in 5 different places. Mm-hmm. So when I open the Swept, so we cannot see the like login. You know, we can see only ours one. So is that possible? So you can like set up the Swept that my 5 guys is in different offices, so I can see. So my guys is in that place.
I thought you could see that. You should be able to see that. Yeah, but I thought Yum's got a manager's login. You don't think so? If not, I can.
I can't do that. So we can manage, like we can control our.
It is possible.
Yeah, it is possible. Yum. If you haven't got it, I can't do it on the. I need to do it on my desktop to enable it. But when I go back to the office, I'll double check and I'll make sure all of you have your own managers.
So I can see my guys is there, so I don't have to read them while you lay this and that. So I can manage my guys by Swept as well.
Is it scheduled by cleaner? And then you can see in green who's at
who's at the site. Yeah, that's right. Yours is set up that way. So
yeah.
Man next to each site to see whether they're on that site. Yeah. If they're logged in. And sometimes people forget to log out. And
Cleaner 7's still logged in.
Yeah, for like a week. So every now and then I go in and I sort by the time they checked out and then I'll just manually check people out.
What it does, it gives us an opportunity to find out who has worked what hours, so we can pay them on time. If we can't have this regime going, that people go in and sign, and when they leave they sign out, it will delay payments, and it's going to get more and more an issue because we're growing, and if that becomes an issue, that means it will be delay in payments. So we're really pleading with you here to make sure that you let your cleaners know when they walk into a site, they need to log in, and when they leave, they need to log out. It will create a great opportunity for us to get a report so we can then automatically start paying them. Any other way, it just delays the process. I'm not actually quite sure why some of them, they don't do it. Probably they forget. But I think it comes up to you guys to actually say to them, you know, log in, log out, the safety issue, the pay issue, it's ease of process issue. And also you guys will always be aware of exactly where your cleaners are. It's a tool that most cleaning companies don't have. You know, it's a really a powerful tool for you guys to make things easier for you and your cleaners and your business. So please, if you could let them know, that would be extremely helpful to all of us.
Don't worry, I'll be reminding you. I'll definitely be reminding you. Okay, we might change the pace a little bit. Jill is going to go through invoicing. I'm sure you've all got some questions, and I do apologise, it's hot in here. The reason is because of the video, the air conditioning was noisy, so I'm really sorry about the heat.
Okay, invoicing. Very close to everyone's heart. So over the last few months, we've been looking at how we do our invoicing to subcontractors, and we've had quite a few things that we've had to change in the procedures. And now that Jill's on board, we're probably going to be looking at more things, the way we do them, improving how things are done. But at the moment, we're wanting extras that are done on a site to be invoiced on a separate invoice, a completely separate invoice. So if any extras are done, we can rotate it around our management team and check that they are to be done and they were done for the right, the price that was agreed and those sorts of things. So on this extras invoice, it's to contain the date that the extra service was provided and contain a detailed service description. So carpet clean is not enough. I want to know the area the carpet clean was done. It needs to identify the customer. It needs to it needs to say maybe like level 1 carpet clean of this particular customer. And a date that the actual work was done. Just really up the level of information and have a think about, what more can I provide that's going to make it easier for Jill and Michelle to get this paid straight away without having to work out, is that the carpet clean that was done this week or last week or on this level or that level or whatever. So, yeah, just the right, yeah. Yeah, so when we send you a subcontractor agreement, you get it through DocuSign, you get that email with the blue button, and when that comes in, it provides you the company that you're going to be working at, the information of the company. It also has their address. It has the amount per week that we've agreed to pay. And those two pieces of information are the information that needs to be on the invoice that you send us. If you send us the pay per week that's not the same amount for that customer, then our system won't connect the dots. So if you say, oh, it's got to have a carpet clean once a month or it's got window cleaning on top, then it doesn't match. So if it doesn't match, we need to make sure that the price on the agreement is updated so that the prices match. Your invoice has to match that red box down the bottom left. So yeah, so that's really as simple as it is. So I want to see any extras like window cleaning, carpet cleaning on the extras invoice, and on your regular invoice that you send to us, it has to be exact. It has to have, for every site, has to have the number that's in the system, basically. And I mean, you're going to be sending through the same invoice every fortnight to us, and it'll have 2 lots of that amount, that weekly amount. You'll say 2,742 is the amount that we will be paying for that fortnight. So is there any questions there?
What about in public holiday and that sort of things?
It's a question I hadn't prepared for. So with public holidays, I think the way Michael did it recently was to give us when we had the October long weekend, we did a credit for that. Jill?
I tell you what helps me, because it's hard to track sometimes. So the jobs that are public holidays that that they don't work, they close down and that kind of stuff. Because I use Xero, I set up that job as a negative, as a credit per day. So every time there's a public holiday, with all the jobs that have happened in the past, I can just open up that account and it all comes up together. So my invoice at the top stays the same, but on the bottom it says credit Nespresso $30 and then the total amount. So then all I have to do in 2 weeks is I just need to delete that line. So I can add that line on, has all the past, and I can update anything that's new. The invoice goes out and then I can delete it for the next one. Because if I have to start adjusting, I don't like to adjust anything that's fortnightly because I could make a mistake and then the mistake will stay on there for 6 months until I might notice.
Jill, how do you think that would work?
That would be the way to go.
Yeah, I don't like to adjust,
Just
like
eliminate
say,
errors.
yeah, that's right, because if I adjust something that's sort of third on the list out of my 20 jobs, then because it's a repeating invoice, then I have to go back and adjust it back. So instead of adjusting anything, I put the credit all down the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it's just simple just to delete that.
And then we can see the credits at the bottom of the invoice for the public holidays, and it's clear to us what they're for. So I think, that sounds like it would work well.
The other option is to actually create a special invoice for that. So allow the recurring invoice to occur, and the difference between the recurring and the public holiday rate to create a special invoice. So then you eliminate all that.
It's usually a discount, not an addition. So you're not charging extra for the public holiday.
It's
line
a
at the
negative
bottom
amount.
when it happens, which is not that often. So
Yeah.
So, but as long as if it's on the bottom and it's not being taken out of the actual normal weekly amount, then it's even clearer for us to pick that up and go, yeah, that's why.
So therefore, I think the outcome there was to list any public holidays as a credit on the bottom of the recurring invoice anytime a public holiday occurs. Okay, matching up the pay per week with the invoice is important for us. And you can just move past that, that's the information. So I've created a dummy customer invoice, and if I sort of feel like I'm in front of this thing, if you just add in the one here, I've said the company is the legal office, it's got an address, we clean it 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, and it's 2 lots of the 742. So that's on the invoice, it shows the cleaning period being the 2-week period that the cleaning is being done, and also the invoice date. And we've just said here, if you can put on the subject line of your invoice when you email it through your invoice number, which will change every week. It's easy for us when we're sorting and looking up the invoice. So if you can just put this invoice number 1234 in the subject line, that's handy for us as well. I think that's all. With the payment process, we pay subcontractors 14 days after receipt of the invoice on the first Wednesday after the 14 days. The receipt date is taken from the accounts email inbox, and Cleancorp recommend fortnightly invoices come in, so you put the whole period for 2 lots. If the invoice period ends on a future date, the receipt date is calculated from the first business day after the period ends. So if you're going to invoice us for the rest of this week on today, it will be calculated on Monday as being the receipt date. Any questions about that? And so I've done a little calendar. So this was the period that we had in the example, say from the 27th of October through to the 9th of November. And so you might email the invoice in if it was on the 9th of November being the last day of the period, anywhere over that weekend maybe. or any time up to the 13th. And this is the Wednesday, the Tuesday night is our cut-off, and on Wednesdays we do cleaner pays each week. So this invoice that you've sent us here will be paid 2 weeks on the Wednesday following. So if
you send the invoice in on the 14th, you actually won't get paid until the week after this. Yeah. So ideally you want to get your invoices in between the Saturday to the Tuesday to get paid 2 weeks later on the Wednesday.
Any questions about that?
So it'll be safe to say if the invoice is after the day, the first business day after the work is finished, it would be 14 to 20 days, depending on what day of the week it falls.
14 to 16 days.
14, because the first day would be usually a Monday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
To send them on a Monday and Tuesday, that'd be
Yeah, send them on the Monday and Tuesday and they'll be paid 2 weeks later. If you send them on a Thursday or Friday, you have to wait longer.
Yeah.
I think that's, the easiest way to remember it. Send them on a Tuesday. Thanks, Adrian. Yeah, and we're just trying to make it consistent for everyone. So, yeah, that's how it will work.
Well, good morning all. My name's Lee and I'm from Abco Products. Firstly, I'd like to thank Michelle and the Cleancorp team for letting us come along today. So we're one of Cleancorp's suppliers for consumables and toilet paper, hand towel, all the bin liners and so forth. Plus we do a complete range of machinery as well. So just to take a step back and give you a bit of understanding of Abco Products. We've been in the industry for about 25 years now. We started in Perth, was our head office. It was started by Richard Bagshaw and his 2 sons. And in the early 2000s, we got a couple of national contracts, which brought us over into the East States. So we've got a warehouse and office in every major capital city in Australia. We really target cleaning contractors, so that's where our focus is. We did a lot of different sectors of the market, but we had some independent help come in where our whole portal, online portal, all our products is really focused on the BSC market to be like a one-stop shop. We have an online portal plus a complete range of cleaning equipment as well. So in your show bags, we've put a couple of bits and pieces in them today. There's a magic eraser, you would no doubt would have seen those. There's some microfiber cloths. There's a bottle of chemical as well. And I just wanted to run through a couple of new innovations that we had at the ISSA show last week in Melbourne. And the first one was the iMop. I'm not sure if some of your team may be aware of the iMop. It's what we call a scrubber dryer. You've probably seen machines on the market similar. This machine's made in Holland, and the uniqueness about this machine is it doesn't have an axle. So a lot of machines like the duplex, you might see the duplex on sites, or you see the traditional box scrubbers. What this company has done, traditionally you'll have a brush and or a pad at the front of the machine. There'll be an axle and then there'll be a squeegee. What they've done is they've removed the axle out of the machine. So the machine can rotate on itself 360 degrees. So a lot better to get into small areas, bathrooms, back of house, kitchen areas, and it eliminates, because we all know in our industry, our biggest expense is labour. So what these machines can do is eliminate labour and save you guys money. So a machine in a large area, say out the front on this forecourt, if we're allowing half an hour to mop that whole area, that iMop will do it in 5 minutes. To give you a bit of understanding of how much time saving you can save with that machine. They're really good with their water saving. They've got a smaller tank compared to a traditional box scrubber, but they have a water saving mode, so one tank can generally last you 350 to 400 square metres, and it's a really great way to show you how much dirt you can get off of a surface compared to your traditional mop and bucket, because at the end of the day, a mop and bucket on some of those non-slip surfaces doesn't really cut it. All you're doing is you're mopping dirty water from one area and you're putting it on another. We're using a small scrubber. You are putting down a solution. It can be a chemical or water. It's scrubbing, drying, and the squeegee comes over. So about 95% is dry once you've run that back over with the scrubber. So it's also a great OH&S issue. So you're reducing the amount of water that you're leaving on the floor. The machines are, there's 3 sizes. So the new iMop Lite is 36 centimetres wide. They run on dual batteries, so no cords. And then there's a larger machine called the iMop XL, it's 46 centimetres wide. And then there's an iMop Double XL, which is 63. So it's traditionally, the iMop Double XL is used in a lot of open areas. The XLs can be used in smaller pathways and corridors, and the iMop Lite is excellent in bathrooms. You can get it into the showers, all those tight areas. It works really well in. We did have the ISSA show. We had a special, so that if you did purchase an iMop before the end of the month, we are throwing in an iScrub 21B. We kind of taught. This is a little battery scrubber. It doesn't actually extract, but it just scrubs, and we in the marketplace, we generally think of it as a whippersnipper. So you've got your bigger scrubber to do all your main areas, and you have this little scrubber to do your detailing, back of steps. There's an option to have it on a handheld, so you can put little microfiber pads on it and do shower screens. You can do mirrors with it. It's a really useful machine. They're normally in the market for $800. So in your show bags, we've put a complete our machinery catalogue in there. If you want our consumable catalogue, it's on the floor. It's a little bit bigger. You can grab one of those before you go as well. And my business card is in each of the show bags. If you're not dealing with us at the moment, feel free to leave me your business card. We have a really good, unique online portal where if you can just give me your details, we can set you up online. You can jump online. You can see all our pricing, all our products. We are happy to come out to site with those machines and demo them. If you do have some issues where you're not getting that dirt, or you've got some really bad grout lines where mopping's not cutting it, we also offer that service. As well as in that catalogue, we do the range of vacuum cleaners, carpet extractors, larger scrubbers, steam cleaners, anything that a cleaning contractor would require. We have those products.
Can they be used on wooden floors?
Absolutely. So there's a range. The brushes that they come with are blue. They're a medium brush and they're safe to use on timber. There is a red brush which is harder bristles that can be used on certain different tiles that it's just not cutting it. But the iMop with the blue brushes, they come standard, can be used on safe to use on any hard surface. So if it's a non-slip vinyl, timber floor, polish, yep, concrete, they're not, you won't take the polish off them, those surfaces. Any other questions on those machines?
Not those machines, but just changing the subject for a second. Battery vacuum cleaners.
Yes.
They're getting better, they're getting cheaper. How many are there on the market now? I know there's a...
So everyone would have seen the pack vac.
Yes.
They've just changed the batteries recently, so it's lighter again,
Yep.
And you get dual set. So there's 2 batteries for the machine, so you get 4 batteries, so you can run it all day long. To be honest with you, it still doesn't have as much suction as your traditional corded ones. It just doesn't have it, but they're probably the best on the market at the moment, and they're in the catalogue. There's a Makita do one as well. It's a very small bag. Yeah. That's probably the pack vacs are still made.
What are they selling? What are they selling for roughly now?
Just under $1,000 with 4 batteries. So it's still a lot more than your traditional corded pack vac, which is generally around the 300 mark in the industry. But have a look at some of the facts on time saving for a cleaner to run around, find a cord, trip hazard.
Strata building, going down.
Absolutely.
That'd be one idea.
It's also health and safety with the old school, like cupboards where you open up those cupboards and the cords all with sticky tape and, you know.
Yeah.
Eliminates test and tagging, everything along those lines, because it doesn't have cord on those
Probably,
machines.
probably have to get your charger tested and tagged.
That's right, yeah, you still have to do that. Well, we test and tag all the machinery before it leaves the warehouse.
How many hours runs in one charge?
Beg your pardon?
How many hours run in one charge?
About half an hour.
Of the pack vacs, no, they're up to 60 minutes depending on, to charge the battery. Full charge, how long? Between 45 and 60 minutes depending on the pile of the carpet. But you're safe to say 45 minutes, but you can get 60 minutes out of the machines.
And you can buy spare batteries?
They come with 2 sets so you can run that all day long.
Yeah.
With the iMops, we do any machine over $2,000 at Abco Products, we offer finance on. So for just to give you an idea on price of those iMops, so the iMop Lite is $4,950 plus GST. The iMop XL is $5,890. We offer finance, so if you paid that off through our TPC finance, it works out about $46 a week. So if you keep that in mind, if you do get a new contract, it's a lot easier to buy it on a finance, and you can calculate that $46 a week.
How much time do you think, so looking at say in a hall at a school, that's vinyl, timber, obviously if you're just going to mop it, you're going to have to do it 3 or 4 times because the water gets dirty and
Sure.
With, say, the XL, how long do you think, like...
How many square metres ballpark?
Say roughly 300 square metres.
300 square metres, you're going to get us 300 square metres. I'll probably allow an hour and a half with the clean area. And it does a lot better clean. We've got ATP testing. I can send you a video link. And what we do is, where we do a bit with medical or hospital, where we'll go to site or aged care, and we'll test the floor with manual mopping. It'll give us a reading of how much dirt and bacteria is on the floor, and then you test it once you use the iMop. It's a major difference. So not only are you saving on labour and time, you're also getting a better clean using. You always will get a better clean using a scrubber.
What's the battery time on
the iMops? Yep, they're 60 minutes. So traditionally, a contract cleaner will always buy 2 sets of batteries, because you'll have their 1 hour run time and 1 hour charge time. So you can run it all day long.
What's the extra battery worth?
They're about $800 for a set of their lithium batteries. So a lot of the money in these technology is the lithium batteries in the machines.
So do we need to use chemical with this iMop?
Beg your pardon?
Chemicals.
Chemical? Yeah, very good question. So you can just use water. Otherwise, any neutral detergent. The best thing, as long as you use a low foaming product, you can put anything through it. So alkaline, acid, any chemicals that you're using on site, you can use through it. We have products that we recommend through it, but if you've got it using a neutral floor cleaner on site, no problem.
What's the weight of that one, the smallest one?
Yep, the smallest one is 14 kilos. So it's really good if you've got an area where it doesn't have a lift, you've got multiple stairs. It's a lot easy. It's very easy to fit in your vehicles in and out, going to numerous sites.
The machine needs service every time?
Sorry?
The machine needs
service? The major issue that you will have with the machine, if any, is the vacuum. So just like any vacuum cleaner, if you suck up water with the vacuum, there's a chance you'll damage the motor. So they have, in the iMop Lite, they have a float. So what we recommend is that as soon as you've finished the clean water, always empty the dirty water. But what happens, because they don't have an axle and they can swivel on themselves, you can get under tables, and what happens if you haven't emptied the water from your first run and you've put all the clean water into your dirty water and sucked that up, then you've filled the clean water back up but not emptied the dirty, there's a chance it gets over there's a certain max line on there, and then there's a chance that water will run back into the vac motor. There is a float, so the machine will cut off, but we still experience having, on occasions, if the cleaners aren't trained properly, they put it down on an angle or they store it incorrectly, they don't put it up, and there was a chance the water will go into the vac motor, and you'll damage the vac motors. But like a traditional scrubber, every 6 to 12 months we replace the squeegee is probably the main parts to keeping the floor dry. There's a couple of rubbers on the machine. The brushes have wear indicators as well. Generally speaking, on a vinyl floor you get 12 to 18 months out of a set of brushes. They have a complete range of pads as well. So on the iMops, if you're looking at stripping or sealing, polishing pads, there's a complete range of pads on the back of the catalogue that you can use if you get a set of pad drives as well. So they're a really good machine. You can do a lot with them.
How much cost the pad?
The pads, well, a set of pad drives are around about $200. $200 for pad drives, and then the pads themselves are around about depending on the pad, $7 to $14 for a set. The next one I just wanted to quickly touch on was the EnviroPlus range. So this has been about 2 years in the making, and this is a complete range of organic cleaning solutions. They're manufactured in the UK, and what makes them different to anything else on the market is that they're a super concentrate and they're GECA certified. So there's a lot of products on the market that are GECA certified. It's an independent study that ticks all the boxes that they're biodegradable, non-toxic. But this is the first super concentrate that's been brought into Australia that instead of shipping a 5 litre or 25 litre to sites, we can ship them in a 1 or 2.5, and they're diluted up to 1 to 600. So what that means is 1 to 600, that's 1.5 mils of product per litre of water. Very economical. You're dropping down to like 5 cents a litre once it's diluted. So on larger sites, we offer the Rubik's, the chemical dispenser. So if you want to eliminate chemical wastage, they're really great on your large sites. You have a bottle feed and a bucket feed. So the bottle feed is just to fill up your spray bottles. It's a slower flow rate. The bucket feed is a faster flow rate to fill up your floor scrubbers or your mop and bucket. They have a complete range. And what we've tried to do is we've tried to eliminate uses of chemicals. So we've tried to narrow it down to 5 chemicals you use across your complete site for maintenance cleaning. Okay, every 3 months or 6 months or 12 months we'll come in with a really strong acid and alkaline to do your deep cleans, but these products will maintain in between those deep cleans. For the small sites, sorry, go on. Was someone going to ask a question?
The small sites.
Yep, so mixing. For the small sites, with what we call the X range, we've brought our chemicals out in 1 litre bottles. They have a measuring jug on the top. They're looks like a 2 litre oil container. You squeeze out 3 mils or 5 mils or 10 mils. You fill all the spray bottles are screen printed, filled up with water, 3 mils or 10 mils, and away you go. So it's just trying to eliminate shipping as well as plastic as well. You're saving about 50% of plastic because you're not shipping around water, you're shipping around smaller containers, and it's very economical. So instead, traditionally, an environmental product is more expensive than your traditional cleaners. These are on par, if not cheaper. So there are one of these catalogues in every show bag. There's a Rubik's dispenser as well. And if you need anything else, my business cards are in there. Give us a call. We can come to sites where you're having issues and do some demos. If you need some further pricing on the machinery, please let me know. Thanks again.
So the show bag has a lot of goodies. It's quite heavy, and we have one for everyone out the back. Lee and Abco have been extremely generous, and there's all sorts of great products in there for you to use and to try and what have you, and brochures. I've also, on behalf of all of us at Cleancorp, we wanted to thank you so much for coming and making the time, and there's a little something for each of you, a Westfield voucher there that you can use anywhere, and so don't take these back to the office and then forget this is for you. So thank you so much. So we'd like to invite anybody who has time to lunch, to come and have lunch with us, come and have lunch on us upstairs, if you've got the time. And also we have Eden here who would like to take everybody's photo before you leave. And I'd also like to ask you a favour. We have the video team here, and I'd just love it if if some of you could just spend some time with me, I'd like to just ask 5 questions on video about, you know, what it's like working with Cleancorp. It literally will take 2 minutes, and it would, you know, it would just be lovely to have that. So if you wouldn't mind, a photo and a quick video interview, and of course join us for lunch afterwards. Okay, well, thank you so much. Any more questions before we wrap?
I was just going to have a quick word.
Okay, come and have a quick word.
Key ingredients to go into having a successful business, and one of those things is, I think the most important thing is the people working out in the coalface, and trying to find a way to empower those people, which are our cleaners, if you like, is probably the most important thing to do, because it's not, let's face it, who wants to go out every night sticking your head down a toilet bowl, and it's not really the most glamorous job in the world. But I think when we go onto a site, see our cleaners, and if things aren't going well, the first thing we tend to do is jump up and down and say, what are you doing? But I think the first thing we should be doing is going out in the site and finding the things they're doing really well, and say, you're doing a really good job here, that's great, that's great, that's great. However, well, not so much however, but we probably could do a little bit better here, and it's a way we communicate with our guys, because it's showing them respect. You've got to show them respect for them to respect you back, because if you don't do that, we're going to be in all sorts of trouble. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. And also, when we start up a new job, we've got to, it's training, and putting the time and energy into training. And the more you do that, the better chance your job has of going smoothly from day one. And that's really putting a lot of energy into that. Even if you have to go back once or twice. If you change cleaners, you have to do the whole process again. But it is so important. With your staff, it is very important that your staff actually engage with the customer. It might be late at night, there might be one person working, but at least say hi. At least say goodbye. Now, a lot of guys, their English is challenged, and they're a bit shy about that, but at least they're going to have a go. Everyone can say hello, and everyone can say goodbye, or how are you going, and even engage them a bit more if you're that sort of person. But even the shyest people have to be told or taught that it's very important to engage, because if your customer likes you, they're not going to sort of go walking around and looking at the cleaning. They're comfortable with the person on site, and that's very, very important. So the more you can tell your guys, engage with the customer when you see a customer, I think that's very, very valuable. I'm not sure what else I wrote down here, but it's all about training, being tidy, neat attire. You know, we can't have sloppiness, and you know, it looks dirty. So we just got to, keep guys looking smart, speaking, communicating with the customer, but more importantly for you guys, you have to empower these guys and give them the tools, which is the training they need, because no one's born to know how to clean. You know, it's like a trade. I think it takes 8 to 10 years to become actually good at anything, and cleaning's one of those. So I think that's very important. But that's all from me. Okay, I just wanted to sort of talk about that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.